Imagine a group of prisoners, chained in a cave, forced to stare at a wall. These shadows of the unseen objects are the only world the prisoners have ever known, but what if one of the prisoners was free? He sees the world for what it truly was, that the shadows were created by real things.
Here it comes, the unavoidable sun. Where's my head? And what the hell have I done that you know? I don't remember a thing, I don't remember a thing. In a run, in a run, in a run, in a run.
Whether it's Copernicus a few hundred years ago or whether it's Socrates a few thousands of years ago, essentially we are referring to a certain dimension of human intellect which was capable of perceiving something beyond the ambit of what the rest of the society can perceive at that time. This is the main idea of the short film, The Republic. This is the core, this is the heart of the story.
The Republic is a short film that takes place in a modern-day classroom and is an extended metaphor paralleling Plato's allegory of the cave. It essentially plays on the idea that once a new reality is discovered or a new truth, those who discover it are rejected or called fools.
To convey this story, I've chosen the medium of a classroom because I believe the microcosm and the macrocosm abide to the same fundamental principles. If the human being is at ease, if a mind is at peace, naturally there will be peace in the society. If human beings are in turmoil, if the mind is agitated in a constant state of anxiety, the world we live in will be naturally in a constant flux. It will be too much of a flux. I chose this idea of how the human intellect has evolved and how the larger forces of the society have had an impact on shaping the nature of human intelligence across the ages. This idea, this macrocosm, I've chosen this and I wanted to represent this inside a classroom, the microcosm, with an analogy of each student representing a certain segment of the society and the teacher representing the political system of the world and the classroom representing the world itself. This is a very ambitious project just because of the sheer nature of it, and to make this a reality I needed extremely competent and very passionate crew, and I was really grateful to find people like that to work on this project.
Himalaya came to me about a year ago and he wanted to create this film and he had a script written and we workshopped it for about a year. We planned everything and it was a very long process, but through that not only did the film become better, but Himalaya and I became very good friends, and I think that friendship actually strengthened the film in that we both knew exactly what we needed to do and the film was the most important thing.
The most interesting part was working with Himalaya as a first-time director. It's interesting because he doesn't have all the technical knowledge, which is expected. But where he lacks the technical knowledge, he made up for it in his creative vision, and he knew exactly what he wanted, which was great. Because I was able to bring to the table the technical aspect and say, okay, you want this. This is how we're going to achieve this through composition, framing, lighting, all the way from creative to technical. That was one of the biggest parts that helped this film, is Himalaya's steadfast vision and knowing exactly what he wanted and having a cohesive vision for exactly what he wanted this film to be. Another thing in the pre-production process was seeing the subtle details in framing, composition, lighting that change the entire viewing experience for an audience. Shooting a character profile versus up front or to the third, to a quarter angle, changes the entire viewing experience. So that was one of the biggest things we focused on, was what subtle details are going to change this for the audience and give it that uneasy tension throughout the whole film. Another thing we worked with was the symbolism of the triangle in framing, in composition, and in production design. The triangle, Himalaya explains it better, but it is one of the strongest forms in geometry and in the universe. It has such strong sides, and forces coming down upon it cannot break it just because of the natural slope of the three sides. So in the frame you'll see the general and the priest are ganging up upon the thinker, and you see that inward battle. It also is in the production design within the classroom and how we place the characters as far as blocking.
Realized that there were going to be a lot of challenges in terms of creating this. Finding a cave in the middle of New England and Boston in the middle of winter is not exactly the easiest thing. Making sure the crew is fed, making sure everyone is comfortable and safe the entire time is very important to us. So what we did is we made sure that we had planned every last little bit down. We made sure that we had planned every detail. We made sure we had backup plans on backup plans, and that there was nothing that we couldn't fix. Turns out the production went incredibly smoothly, and at the end of it, we are very proud of the film that we have created. We are very proud of what we are doing and the message that we're getting across, and I hope you enjoy the trailer for The Republic.